It's as simple as this for me when I'm running. Nothing in the world matters because everything that I can possibly be in control of in this particular moment, I'm in control of. I control my breathing. I control how far I'm going. I just have control. Sean Patrick Unique Richards is motivated by everything that has made me feel like, or made others feel like, they can't exist. For me personally, why I run, it evolved throughout time. So I started when I was 11 because they didn't have a football team in Greenwood Lake at the time. Fall sports were very limited before basketball, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run cross country. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. I never forget one of the first 2 practice sessions, running through the woods changed my whole perspective on running. I remember just smelling the woods and just being able to embrace the environment and completely forget that I was from New York City or I was from anywhere. At that moment, I wanted to be from right there. That's what really changed me and really kept me running, was the fact that the environment that I was in, but also just understanding my body in motion. So over the years, running just became more of a, this is a church. This is a real moment of clarity. Running just became more of a spiritual tool than it became a physical activity.
So Ty and I connected through the running community. I met him at a Nike run and we just started smoking. And from there, we started smoking and running. And then we started hanging out and he opened up that notebook and told me his ideas. And I'm an idea activator. So I got hype. I believed in it right away.
There is all of these stigmas that have been placed on a plant from reefer madness, you know what I'm saying? It really has nothing to do with how it affects people's athletic performance. It's just the overall plant itself. It's just like you can't demonize it in one way and then celebrate it in another way. For you to say that cannabis heals somebody means that you have to then take away everything else you said about it. My first introduction, my first feelings with cannabis, man, I was just high, bro. And it was like one of those feelings where you didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like intercourse for the first time. You're like, oh, wow, this is what it feels like. When I tried it again, I tried it and I was active. That was the difference between the first time we smoked and then went to go play basketball. Man, when I mean fluent, because at the time I was playing every day. I realized that cannabis brought a different edge out of me. So that's what really kept me smoking, was I was like, yo, I like this competitive edge. And not only was I contained, even though I was feeling this aggression, I was still contained in the sense of concentration. So that's another thing that had me like, wow, I think I like this. Learning to smoke is almost similar to learning how to breathe, because most times people are just, but it's a whole thing when you actually hits you completely different. But once I figured out how to smoke, it was like, oh man, I've never been so hungry, never been so tired, never been so everything. What made that marriage happen between cannabis and running for me is when I committed to the art of motion. See, whenever I think about basketball and I think about sports in general, I think about people like Kyrie Irving. You see how fluid that man is whenever he's doing what he's doing? He's in this natural flow state. That is exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And for me personally, that's exactly how I felt about running. Once I actually smoked and ran, it was like, oh man, like Adventure Time on 3000, bro, because your mind, if you're doing the right things using cannabis, your mind is going to reinforce some serious things in the sense of some really good qualities. Because if you're actually thinking and you're using cannabis for the right things, your mind is always going to be in this constant state of, how do we get better? How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? You're constantly in the state of wanting to be better, even if you don't realize it.
Rage and Release is a safe space for everyone, but I'd say it's more of a brave space where people can just come and show up as they are, whatever they're going through, they know, all right, I'm gonna be okay here.
One thing that's really made a lot of people come to rage and be comfortable with open use as far as cannabis is concerned, I don't really talk about it. I just kind of made it synonymous with the brand. It was never really actually intentional in the sense of, let's give people a reason to smoke, or let's give people a reason to get high. It was just more so a part of my being. So it kind of just happened naturally into the brand. It was just more so the brand was founded with the idea of destigmatizing cannabis on a natural wave, instead of just trying to like, oh, we're young, black, and we're hip, and we smoke weed, and we're trying to make this difference, when it's actually just like, nah, let this shit happen the way it should naturally, And everybody that does smoke, I just want them to understand, this is why we're using it, and if you understand how you're using it, continue to be responsible, continue to take care of yourself, and check yourself before you wreck yourself. It's as simple as that,
Over the years, he has studied marijuana, and I would ask him specific questions about it, like the benefits. What are you trying to accomplish? Because I noticed with him, he doesn't smoke, and I don't see the behaviors of like just a person that's smoking for recreational purposes. They want to get high and eat, or get high and do some nonsense. No. He studied cannabis and he still is studying it.
It's not just about cannabis being a plant that we can smoke, or whatever the case may be. We can use it for so many different things, as most people are coming to find out now. But then you also have the true wellness aspect of the meditations, and all of those grounding tools that we bring into the game as well too. So all of this is really to just create a community of just enlightened people through their experiences. It's not about us, it's really about the experiences.
Rage and release itself is taking those not so great things in your life that you experience, the challenges, the trials, the tribulations, and then transmuting that energy into something positive for yourself and everybody else around you. Our community, thankfully, has expanded beyond this city, and we have people in Massachusetts, Germany, Alaska, you name it, who really resonate with whether it's the cannabis and running, or just the self-expression and self-love and respect elements of rage and release, and rock with us from wherever they are.
The whole idea of rage and release, it was just like understanding that if you're white, black, Asian, don't matter what you are, whatever class they want to put us under or whatever, we're all going through the same shit at different times. Rage and release was also created. It was to create this open consciousness for people to just feel what they need to feel and take whatever they need to take from it. Because whether it's the inclusivity that we're talking about, seeing people like yourself or seeing people not like yourself, or the fact that that wellness aspect is there, the fact that I care. When you pull up, I care. You with me right now, and we together, and we all together right now, and that's the vibe, and that's how it should be. There is no you here as an individual, get the fuck out of here. If that's how you feel, get the fuck out of here, beat it. But for the most part, we are this collective consciousness moving together.
People can just come and show up as they are, whatever they're going through. They know, all right, I'm gonna be okay here. I don't need to put on a mask. I don't need to, pretend like I'm something I'm not. I also don't need to watch my back. I can run through the street and not have to worry about being harassed because I have my community by my side.
Nobody gets left behind, you know what I mean? There's no ego, so seeing that, it was like, okay, well, let me give it a try. There's a lot of times in which I'll think to myself, man, I don't think I'm gonna run today. But 95% of the time I end up going, and then all the time, like after, I always feel accomplished, I feel like I've done something for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I earned the day.
as human beings, we like to think that we're all different, but we're really fucking not, because we all hurt the same way, we all bleed the same way, we all have these different insecurities and so on and so forth the same way. So at the end of the day, seems we're pretty much the same.
He opened our eyes to a lot of things that we didn't know, and I love what he have done. Like, we need more exposure to like just different things we into, and know people who don't know and don't really get the real concept of, you know, like the struggle of trying to own what you want and trying to be what you trying to be without the, you know, the negative.
When I was going to school, they would say each one teach one. So all this knowledge and stuff that, you know, he has and he's gaining, I want him to, you know, teach someone, help someone, you know, and just stay on the right path.
I think the most God-given ability ever is imagination, because if you can't see it, you can't actually do it. So in so many ways, because we can envision all these different things, we can therefore make it happen. So the faith that has to go behind that, I think, has always been within human structure from the beginning. The faith in knowing that people can transform no matter what they've been through, for me personally, again, that's been most powerful.